everyone. Now we are going to see what is encapsulation in Java. Encapsulation in Java is wrapping code and data together into single unit. Okay. For example, in general term, a capsule that contains mixed with several medicines is an example of encapsulation in general term. For example, if a class is having a private variable, that private variable can be accessed only within the class. What we know. But in order to access the private variable outside the class, we are going to do encapsulation. That thing can be actually using getter and setter methods in the class. Okay. So using encapsulation, we are doing data hiding because the encapsulated class will have a private variables. So private variables can be accessed only within the class. But if you want that private variable to be accessed outside, we are going to use a getters and setter methods so that the private variable can be accessed outside the class, and the value we can through setter method we can able to set the value of the variable, and through getter method we can able to get the value from that variable. So this is called encapsulation in Java. Let's see an example now, and also you can just go through this pointers. Okay, so I'm just opening an Eclipse. So I already created a class called bank details. So I'm going to declare a private variable here, private string account number equal to some random text I'm just giving. So already we know what the private variables can be accessed only within the class, right? Suppose if I want to access this private variable outside the class, which means assign some other class. I have created another test class, and I'm going to create a main method, and I'm going to create an object for bank details. Bank details obj equal to new bank details. Obj dot account number. Account number is not possible here, right? Because account number, whichever we declare this account number as a private variable, we cannot able to access the private variable outside the class. But if you want to access the private variable outside the class, we can have this class is called as an encapsulated class. So which is having a private variable and data is there, but it isn't hiding. We cannot able to access this variable outside the class, so it provides you data hiding mechanism. But if you want to get this value outside the class, we can use getters and setters concept in Java to get the to set the value of account number. For that, what we are going to do, just click on the variable, right click, and go to source here, and here we have an option called generate getter and setter. Just click on this, and it will automatically suggest you account number is a variable, whether you want to get account number or set account number. These are two methods which Eclipse is itself going to generate for you. I'm going to generate this. Click on this. So by Eclipse I've created these two methods. One is get account number. If you call this method, it is going to get you the account number value outside the class. And if you call the set account number, if I give some value, the account number value will be get changed. So what I'm going to do in method, I'm going to write some logic, just going to print so that you can able to understand. I'm just printing the account number here. Okay, let's try to get the account number in test method. So obj dot get account number. Since the get account number method is a getter method, I'm just calling this method in turn going to give me the value of the account number, this thing, right? The private variable. It is returning the value of the private variable. Okay, so I'm just going to run this. Let's try whether it is giving the value or not. I got the account number details here. So the private variable which is declared in the class, if I want to get this value outside the class, I'm using getter method to that variable, and I'm able to access that value outside any class. If you want to change this value, I don't want to, for example, in the account number field, whatever the value, right? I just want to change the value at runtime. What I will do, through set account number method, I can able to change the value. For example, here I'm going to set the value. Maybe like here I'm going to adjust upon one more thing. Consider this is an HDFC bank. I'm going to HDFC account number. So whatever the value I'm going to set, this is the this class will have account number as a 98923885. But I just want to change this value, so I'm going to set different value. So I will call this method and I will give my input. And inside this logic method, I'm doing some logic, which is I'm just appending some HDFC underscore. So all the account number will have this static value, and whatever the value I give here, that will be replaced here. Let's try to set the value and let's try to get the value. obj dot set account number is a method where we can able to set the variable private variable value. Okay, I'm going to give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So using set account number, I'm setting the value for account number, and using get account number, I'm getting that value. Let's try to run this. So I'm setting the value 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to get the value. Inside the get, I'm just printing the value, right? What happens now? I got the value. I set the value 1, 2, 3. It takes the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside the method, and it added the account number HDFC plus whatever the value that we pass here. It got appended, so I got output. So set account number, set to replace this value with my value, and get the account number got me the latest value. So using getter and setter, we can able to access the private variable from a class. This is called encapsulation. For example, in real time, if you want any variable, for example, in database, maybe in your framework, there will be some database connection strings will be there. You can do, you can just declare those variables as a private variable. For example, the username, password, database connection value, everything can be a private value, private variable. And if you want to call those private variables inside any of the test class, you just make setters and getters and to access the private variable. This is the real-time use case where we will use the encapsulation concept in framework. Thank you.